New numbers emerging that show the sad and terrible toll of Australia's wildfire crisis. A professor at the University of Sydney estimates nearly 500 million animals have been killed by the bushfires that have torched 3 million hectares of New South Wales alone. In a statement regarding how he reached the massive figure, Professor Chris Dickman explains it was founded on a report he co-wrote in 2007 for the World Wild Fund for Nature. It studied the impacts of land clearing on the state's wildlife and obtained estimates on the population density of mammals in the state.
Well, it's official. Brexit is done. After 3 long years of debate and political back and forth, Britain finally broke away from the European Union.
It's exciting.
Bong Joon-ho, Parasite.
This is the first Oscar and the third nomination this year for Bong Joon-ho. The first Oscar and nomination for Han Jin-won.
We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
When we see this kind of profound shutting down of the transportation sector, so much of industry and the broader economy, that does indicate that a lot of critical pollutants are dropping in their concentrations on the order of 30%, say, in some major cities. So we see the air quality rapidly improving in those places. That's a quick, if potentially temporary, response.
Here's Savannah Guthrie.
And good morning, everybody. We're coming on the air with breaking news. This is the New York Stock Exchange. The trading day is just beginning on Wall Street, and there are fears that the Dow will drop and drop quickly, and we're already seeing that. Futures over the weekend were down so much that they actually had to put an emergency trigger that stopped trading, and the expectation and fear is that we will see markets in free fall this morning here in the U.S. as they have done in the global markets already today. Let's get right to CNBC's Becky Quick, who is at the stock exchange for us. Becky, this is expected, but here we go. The numbers are already in free fall.
George Floyd
repeatedly told the officers that he could not breathe after an officer knelt on his neck.
After 4 long, tense days, we've reached a historic moment in this election. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Joseph R. Biden Jr. is elected the 46th president of the United States, winning the White House and denying President Trump a second term.
Football legend Diego Maradona has died. The 60-year-old Argentinian passed away on Wednesday from a heart attack. Long considered one of sport's greatest players, Maradona famously led his team to victory in the 1986 World Cup with what's described as the goal of a century. David Stokes looks back on his life.
He infamously referred to a hand of God, and the unique gifts of Diego Armando Maradona appeared to come from a higher force. Born in 1960 and raised in a shanty town on the outskirts of Buenos Aires, he became their national hero and a global football superstar.
Morocco and Israel are to normalise ties in a US-brokered deal. In exchange, the US has recognised Morocco's sovereignty over the disputed Western Sahara region. It's the fourth Arab country to agree to diplomatic relations with Israel.
Want to begin with live pictures out of London. St. Thomas's Hospital in London. That's the very hospital where the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was treated for coronavirus during the first wave. Of course, now the world well into the second wave, and today, as the world responds to the pandemic, a very big moment. The UK is the first Western country to start vaccinating people against the coronavirus. It's the first in the world to begin mass inoculations with the Pfizer vaccine. And here is the first person in line to get it.
Just going to be squeezing your arm, okay? Okay. Relax your arm for me. Just relax. Hold there.